Welcome everyone to Above and Beyond Affiliate Marketing. Here you're going to find your way to journal your life into the business, into the income of your dreams, to the relationship of your dreams. You can find that all here at Ryland Media Group.biz, rmgmedia.biz, and rylandmediagroup.com, where we have actual training courses for you to actually build your business the way it should be done. Now, welcome to our show. This is actually the episode 3 of our really habit formations that we're getting into. So you're already skilled, you're already great, you just gotta dig it out, right? So let's talk about, today we're going to talk about the types of habits. There are several kinds of habits, but based on the nature of your activities, habits can be split into really 3 basic types, okay? There's the habits of character, there's the intellectual habits, and then there are the motor type habits, right? So let's just jump into the habits of character. Now, when you're kind of, for all of us, we kind of, I was just in thought, because here's the deep dive, okay? If you're going to express something about your own personal character, your habit can also be referred to as an emotional habit, because they have good notions of feelings and emotions. So let me clear that up a little bit. So let's say, I'll just use my wife example. So she wants to keep her dress clean and tidy, and in order to do that, and then she's going about her business of working hard, and she's doing her time management, and she's doing the things that she's doing in every day in every friendly way. That actually helps that good notion of feelings and emotions, right? That's kind of the habit of the character. Kind of talking in a friendly way, being honest, trusting people, helping others who are in need, being clean and tidy, all those good things, and working hard. Okay, those are the habits of character, right? Now, let's jump into intellectual habits. Okay, everybody thinks that habits are just one focused thing of good and bad habit, or sometimes an inconclusive habit of just doing something unexpectedly. But there's actually just, it breaks down to this: the intellectual habits. A little tongue-tied. It's a really exciting topic, because these habits are associated with your mental process that demands our cerebral capacity that actually test out your decision-making process using reasoning ability, logical thinking, and more accurate perception and good observation, etc., etc., etc. I muddied the waters a little bit on that one. I do apologize, but the thing is that your mind processes your habits in this mental process that actually coincides your motor habits, right? So now we have the habits of character, who you are, and what you're doing, and then you got the intellectual part of it, the mental process that demands the capacity and decisions by using this reasoning ability. And then you jump into the motor habits that maintain the postures of the body, like say you got in the habit of exercising and going for a run every day at 4 o'clock. That's what you do. You got in the habit of doing that. And doing that exercise gets you in that habit every single day that's associated with your physical actions and muscular activities. Those are the part of that motor habit. Same thing with walking, same with sitting, same thing with standing, etc. That's your motor habit, right? Now, when you get into that conscious, I want to talk about this for a second because this is really important, guys, and I hope you guys are taking notes because this, you're like, what does this have to do with business, Jason? I'm on here for building my affiliate business, or I'm here to be better at growing my storefront, my retail space, whatever. What you're right in thinking that you just want to get it done fast. We're kind of a society like that. We're actually a society of immediate gratification, and we don't want to do any of the work. We just kind of want it handed to us sometimes. I'm going to let you know that if you don't break out of your bad habits, whether it's business planning, or it's writing skills, script writing, copywriting, writing ebooks, doing links, doing email marketing, any of that stuff that comes with affiliate marketing, you guys are going to have to get into these habits that I teach and I coach, and I've built successful sales teams for what I'm now just given to you for free. Now, of course, I do have training courses and things like that to help you on your journey, and we can be a part of that, and we can have that discussion later. But this is all part of building and growing your business. People will want to sell you their product ongoing, and it's plug and play, and they'll even promise to do it for you. You pay a little bit extra money, they have it done for you stuff, and that's all good and dandy, but you're not learning to build and grow your business. So even if it's done for you courses, or if it's done for you funnels or scripts or anything like that, you're still gonna need to learn how to conduct your business. Making money is great, learning how to manage that is even better, and scaling off of that is a legacy. So we're here building legacies, okay? That's why I'm here with you, because we want to build a legacy, right? So let's get right back to conscious habits and hidden habits, because conscious habits and hidden habits are two common types of habits. You can quickly review conscious habits yourself because they're really quite easy to identify, because in fact these conscious habits have a high tendency of going away when you remove that when you remove that attention to it. Okay, so let's say for you to keep up with your conscious habits, you have to apply conscious input, right? So your habit that you can recognize easily are conscious habits, and examples of them are like smoking after a meal, or having a drink at happy hour after work, or after work you work out, or before work you work out every day, or you go to in the evening, it's 6 o'clock, it's time for my evening run or walk, or wait, check this out. Even when you set your alarm and you wake up, I love this one because it kind of cued me in on why do I always wake up like 5 minutes before my alarm actually goes off, or 1 minute before it actually goes off. Because you got in the habit of getting up at that time, so now your body got into the conscious habit of just getting up at that time. So it's your inner clock. Just click right up. And then your hidden habit can make up most of all your other habits, right? So unlike conscious habits that you can identify, with just kind of a general review, these can be quite difficult to identify. And I want to get into that because most cases, it's someone else that tends to point out some of these behaviors to us because they're usually revealed by an external factor, like something going on in your life, since we're generally completely unaware of them, right? Somebody says, I know that you tap your pencil a lot on your desk, and you're just kind of, it's a hidden unconscious, like that is something that can be very tricky because it's been turned into an autopilot mode by your brain, so you don't really understand these habits that are acting up. You just sit down, or if you fidget, you tap your foot, you tap your leg, or whatever, you sit and you kind of fidget a little bit. That's kind of autopilot mode by your brain, because what ends up happening is they have now become a part of your decision-making process and your lifestyle. Yep. Tap, 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 whatever you're doing, shuffling your feet around at your desk, stuff like that, actually ended up being part of your decision-making process. Believe it or not, even if it is procrastination, has now become a decision-making process. I'll do it later. I'd take a 5-minute break that turns into a half-hour break that turns into an all-day break, right? So these are decision-making processes that became your lifestyle. Now, I'm going to help you with this, guys, and please take note. If you don't have your notes with you, or you have to do it later, please come back to this episode and listen to this, because I'm going to help you identify your hidden habits. Because you'll need to direct your attention and zoom in to a kind of self-identify, because there's a wide range of potentially hidden habits. So in the course of trying to unravel all of these hidden habits, there's some questions you have to ask yourself. Okay, and this is where the pen and paper come in handy. So, your physical habits, write this down. How much water do you drink daily? That is important because that's also part of a health thing, right? Is it that you tend to slouch or sit or stand straight? Now, I'm letting you know, as I'm sitting in the studio right now talking to you, my back is straight. I make sure that I don't, even if I'm not sitting completely back to the chair back. I have a high back chair, very comfortable. Make sure it's really nice to do this podcast in. But when I'm talking to you guys, I sit up straight, and I do that consciously, and then I started doing it unconsciously, so now it's kind of automatic. I do that because I want to make sure that my posture is correct, so my voice is clear. I'm not slouching, and I'm not mumbling my words, if you will. So, and now you got into that question. I got off on a tangent there, but those things that you can also identify is, how do you walk? Do you walk slow? Do you walk kind of medium? Do you walk fast? Do you kind of like when you get out of your car and go into the store? Is it seems like it takes forever to get there, or do you try and make sure you get the closest spot when you'll circle? I know people who will just circle and circle and circle until they can get that spot right next to the door so they can hop out and hop in, and that actually ends up being a hidden habit because you want to you think it's going to take longer to get from A to B, but actually you're wasting time, and you've gotten into that hidden habit of doing that. When if you just go and see, what I do is I just go and a lot of times I think of, I'd like to get the best, safest parking spot available, but a lot of times I will park as far away as I can because I am a fast walker, and And when I'm with my wife, I make sure I slow. She's not a fast walker, so I slow my pace down to match hers, and we usually hold hands, and then we go into the store. These things happen. Those are hidden habits, and and these are very important questions that you need to ask yourself, because this helps you unravel these hidden habits. And you'll be shocked to see that how they may really help you figure things out that you never even thought of or noticed about, or thought of at all, because you can even ask your close friends, close family members, somebody that you trust, partner, spouse, these questions about you. And if it's okay by you, ask them to be honest, be truthful to you about how they may even help you see yourself more clearly. A lot of times we don't like to ask that questions to the people that we love and care about, because we might think that they're finding fault within us. But we all have this, guys. They have it too. We have it. Everybody has it. It's these habits, and they're the even hidden habits. You might even make it a game if you'd like. You can quiz your spouse and say, "What?" You don't have to say it like, "What annoys me about you," or "you about me." You can actually say things like, "Have you noticed that I have the habit of doing this?" Now, of course, there's other things out there like the OCDs and things that people have to tap 3 times, or before, things like that. And we're talking about these other um, illnesses like that. That's a totally different subject on that level. But just some a habit that you have noticed with yourself, ask others, so you can find this hidden habit that you're wanting to break. Okay, so we can also talk about social habits. Um, Write this down. What are the words or phrases that you tend to say a lot? Okay. Are there some gestures or actions that you tend to use a lot? And I'm very curious, those who are listening to this, if you want to be a part of the show, add a voicemail. I will put you on the show. And if this, especially if it correlates to the topic that we're talking about now, share us share with the rest of us what makes you avoid eye contact with people. Okay, so I'll give you guys limited access for those who come in and put on a voice message and ask us, or ask that question, what avoids you to make eye contact with people. There's an old adage out there that if you don't make eye contact, you're somehow lying. And even though that is a kind of a telltale sign of somebody lying to you, it's not always the truth. Some people are just shy. Some people don't like to. They avoid that eye contact. Makes them uncomfortable. Whatever it is. But notice if you do that, and share it with the rest of us. And I challenge you to look people dead straight in the eye and talk to them. Not not scary or spookily, like stare at them all, making them uncomfortable. Like, wow, you're staring me down. But to just be comfortable and talking to somebody, that actually shows the sign of respect, and it shows that you're paying attention to them and them to you, that you value what they say. There's also energy habits. And now you can bullet point this, guys. I'm into the next habit of energy habits, because you have to find out how often do you snack during the daytime. Okay, that's an energy habit. You People talk about that in weight loss all the time. Snacking in between meals, not snacking in between meals. But you have developed a habit of doing so. So, how often and when do you snack during these times? What do you do once you wake up in the morning? That's a good one. What is like your everyday routine like? Uh, uh, One thing you can do is you can bullet point that too. Everything you do in the morning, evening, and those are your energy habits. What do you do each night right before bed? And what pattern do you follow? You know, after dinner, you went for that walk or you run or whatever. You take a shower, you brush your teeth. You guys get it. I got a smart bunch of people out there that are listening to this right now because they want to do better. This actually, believe it or not, when you get into business and getting into these motivational mindsets and these habits, positive things will just start flowing and happening to you because that's how you're living your life. Because now we're going to jump into the mental habits. Now, write this down. How do you react to a negative news story? Now, just want to let you know, like my wife and I don't read the newspaper. I I read things that are valuable to me and my family. That if I need to know something, I kind of do my own due diligence and I do my research and I do my study and I make sure that everything that I say and do is within the truth based on what I believe and what I'm doing that's going to be beneficial. There's so much I'm going to say nonsense out there in the world, especially the news. A lot of times you don't even know what to believe or if you can believe any of it. I mean, of course, we don't like things that are going on in the world today, but you can stay on top of that. And I hear segments of here and I want to listen to this here, but I'm very particular about the source that I get this information from and if they're credible. And that's how I get my news. So, um, and when you see a friend or an acquaintance posting pictures of like luxury vacations and things like that on his or her social media page, what feelings do you get? You feel like, oh, I wish I would. A lot of, just so you know, we all know that a lot of those things sometimes can be fake. But I just want to let you know that that is actually one thing that gets you in that field. When you see that affiliate marketing guy next to that big Jaguar or that nice new Cadillac or Corvette or whatever you desire of your dream car is, that you're like, oh, I want that. Oh, I desire that. And but then you're just like, I'm not doing anything with my life, and you kind of go down that rabbit hole. So that kind of leads me into the next thing. When you receive criticism, what's your first gut response? That's huge, guys. That if your first gut response is like, I want I want to either flee or you want to fight or you want to argue and defend, and make excuses and justify. What's your gut response? You have control over all of this. And especially productivity habits. What's the frequency in which you check your phone for new notifications? What is the yardstick, if you will, that you use to determine if a task is more important than another? Or do you just dive in and do whatever you want to prioritize certain tasks before starting? You know what? I get sometimes sidetracked myself and I want to start a project, and I get sidetracked I'm just like, well, I want to get this out of the way so I have more time to do this, and it kind of takes a little bit longer than I wanted it to. But if I just started this other subject, it would have been done already, so on and so forth. What are your productivity habits? Um, and like this show. This show is so important to me to reach out to you guys and make sure that you guys get the correct information, the right information to get you building and growing your business or relationship or just your personal life. I want to be there, and that you could literally use anything that I give you in any of my courses, whether free or paid or whatever you guys like to do. Of course, you find more value in some of my paid training courses just because that adds a different element of that one-on-one coaching. You get more personalized, in-depth training. We have planners, we have things, we have other stuff out there to support you in building your business or your relationships. And we're when we're Ryland Media Group, we're also a web development agency, and we have a whole team of other people that actually that we try and mold our business around all you guys to where we we may not be your one-stop shop for everything, but I tell you what, we get pretty darn close. So, anyways, that's actually our show for today. Tomorrow is gonna be really, really cool because we're gonna get into some more of these. We're gonna talk a little bit more about these habits and what they mean. And this is a 8-part series, and I want to let you know that I hope you're forever richer. I hope you give everything in the glory back to God, and we're here for you guys. Please take advantage of our Power of Taking Action free book. We have our Millionaire Blueprint. We have 7 ways of tips for unstoppable success. Please take advantage of that, guys. It's for your benefit, and we're on the journey together. So think of your next master plan, and we'll talk soon. Thank you all for listening. God bless.